is called Favorite Movie Meme. You might have seen it online. And it has all these different categories to fill in for movie buffs, movie lovers, starting with your favorite film of all time, and then best script, favorite poster, and it goes on and on and on. What? You think crazy? You think Shawshank is a good movie?
Clip that. Favorite film of all time.
It's Jurassic Park.
Brilliant answer.
Yeah, that's solid.
It just is. It's the thing I saw when I was 7, and it just changed my life.
The next category is a fun one, and it's you like, but everyone else hates.
Eternals.
I agree.
I like
That's
Eternals.
a great pick. Welcome to Backseat Directing,
where we talk about movies, TV shows, comics, and more.
We're your hosts,
Andrew
and Arron, with Jordan.
We put out new episodes every Monday and Thursday.
And on this episode, we're doing movie chats with Schatz.
3, 2, 1. Shaction. Shatson. Shats action.
Welcome back to the show, Jordan Schatzberg.
Yeah, thanks for having me back, guys.
Yeah, we're glad to have you back.
This is fun.
This is, so you were on an episode a few episodes ago. It was our director's draft.
Yes.
That one was a lot of fun. If you haven't seen that one, head back over to that one, check it out, and vote for who you think got the best team of directors on their team. But today we have a fun episode where we've got this piece of paper and you got it printed out over there.
Director's draft was 173, by the way.
Boom. There it is. Andrew with the numbers.
I'm pretty sure I didn't win.
Spoiler.
You
So help
decide
me
for
out,
yourself.
guys.
Yeah, you went in here.
Yeah,
It's all in here. But Andrew, what do we got today? This was a picture that you found.
Yeah, I think this is off of Twitter, the formerly known as Twitter, now X. It's this picture which is called Favorite Movie Meme. You might have seen it online. And it has all these different categories to fill in for movie buffs, movie lovers, starting with your favorite film of all time, and then best script, favorite poster, and it goes on and on and on, just for like different varying categories. And we thought it was a cool jumping off point for us to be able to talk about a lot of the movies that we love, and maybe debate a little bit if somebody has a terrible opinion. But we'll go like one at a time around the table for a couple of these categories here, the ones that we find the most interesting, and just kind of chat about the best movies.
Yeah, I think
like
there's
what this podcast is birthed on, just like randomly talking about movies.
absolutely.
And it wasn't heated enough last time I was here, so.
Yeah, so we need some fire.
fake
Some
outrage.
flames.
What? You think crazy? You think Shawshank is a good movie?
Clip that.
This guy-
This is Morgan Freeman guy.
Yeah, so I think there's 24 categories or 18,
That's right.
yeah, something like that.
24.
So we'll
See if we hit them all.
yeah, we'll just jump through and kind of see where the conversation takes us. Starting with the first category, and that is favorite film of all time.
Mine's been said on the show before. If you want to go first, that's the game.
I feel like I said mine last time too, but
All right, let's hear it.
it's Jurassic Park.
Brilliant answer.
Yeah, that's solid.
It just
That's
is.
solid.
It's the thing I saw when I was 7, and it just changed my life
Yeah.
pretty much significantly. The movie blew my fucking mind.
Yeah.
I just saw it in theaters.
Did you?
Like a week and a half ago.
Man,
Yeah, it was so cool to see
it's
it.
almost a perfect movie. It really.
It's amazing. It holds up so well, and I've never got to see it on the big screen. Like watching it in the theater is, you can pick out some of those imperfections that you might be hinting at, but that's just time. Like, first of all, the movie looks fantastic, even by today's standards. I mean,
Absolutely.
I could notice some more green screen stuff, like even like the wide shot where they first unveil like the Bronchiosaurus and everything. I could notice it a lot more on the big screen.
What's crazy is you only notice it though because it up-res to HD.
Yeah, if
It looks so good still. All those practical dinosaurs and stuff.
I've seen it on like a 70-inch screen tons of times, and I've never been able to really pick it out. And like on like the DVD, you know,
Yeah.
so completely different being on the big screen. But it's just so groundbreaking everything they did, like from like the audio aspect, like creating the T-Rex sounds with the sounds from all these other animals. I think they use like turtles and dogs and
There's
lions.
something like 40 different animal sounds combined together.
It's a feat of achievement on like every plane. Like you look at the sound design in that aspect, you look at what they did with special and practical effects for the film. You look at such a good script. It's so funny, so witty. Like Alan Grant is funny, but he's like tough, and like the characters are lovable. Ian Malcolm, when it comes to like the performance, like it's so phenomenal. Like he's just exudes cool from a guy like that I wouldn't expect to exude cool.
Yeah, like he wasn't cool really like that before that movie. I feel like
He's dripping, just so suave,
just
so
quotable.
suave.
Everything he
Yeah.
says is a quote line.
He's got riz.
That
Yeah.
is a giant pile of shit.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it's phenomenal. Also, speaking of the practicals, the puppeteering, because those dinosaurs are being puppeted. The BTS of those raptor scenes are insane to watch. It's like you said, he really just touched upon it all, but like there's something timeless about it. Regardless if it does seem kind of dated in ways, there's something that just looks so good that if I made today, I would be stupid proud of.
Oh
Yeah.
Like it still looks
absolutely.
incredible.
You know what I didn't even touch on is my personal favorite score of all time.
Jurassic Park.
The John Williams score.
Yeah, that's theme. It just hits.
Oh my god! And I've said before on the show, I think that movie is like the epitome of wonder, like excitement, wonder, adventure. That movie captures it, I think, better than any other movie ever has. Those specific feelings, and that score, exactly the same thing. When you hear it swell when they're entering the park, it's like I feel like I'm like a kid on a roller coaster. Like I don't know. It's so exciting. When I went on the Jurassic Park ride at
I'm getting chills.
Universal for the first time, I literally like tears welled up in my eyes because when they used to have the water ride, the big gate would open and it would play the Jurassic Park theme song, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, it felt something like
Yeah, it's fucking incredible.
And even though it captured like that childhood wonder of like, I'm going to the park with dinosaurs, it also had real stakes and fear, and they were scary. When I watched them first time as a kid,
Yeah.
I had to watch Disney Channel for like an hour and a half afterwards to be able to go to
they
sleep.
are scary. Go ahead.
No, I would say no. It's just the wonder and the editing are pretty fantastic. So like going back to that scene where they do the dinosaur, like the sauropod scene, you're looking at the people's faces the whole time, but you hear things, and then it has the first like crazy wide shot because everything all you see before that's like a triceratops. You see a bush move,
Yeah.
and then they see that, and it's like they did it. And then the T-Rex scene, the main scene also, is cut so well with you anticipating thing and then teasing things, and it's scary. That scene in the raptor scene in the kitchen stuck with me so much as a kid. I think that's also why I like it so much because those scenes were burnt into my brain. And
Well, there's so many iconic scenes from just the first movie alone. Like
Yes.
it's
So-
insane.
Speaking of iconic scenes, we broke down some of the iconic special effects with Dan Brown, our resident special
Nice.
effects
We
specialist.
love Dan.
Yeah, in episode 167, CGI artist.
Numbers. This man's on point today.
I'm on YouTube, you know.
Let's go.
But I think that that movie also definitely has my most quoted line of all time, which is just 2 words: "Clever girl."
Yeah,
I say that all the time. Like if I'm like gonna forget something, my fiance is like, "Oh, don't forget." Clever girl. Like I say that line so much, and the movie, the script is just like so much fun. When they do like the little sequence with the DNA, the animated DNA, and then
Dino DNA.
yeah, and the clone of the owner, Dr. Hammond, I think is his name.
Dr. Hammond,
Yeah,
yeah.
with the clone of him like on the screen side by side with him, like. It's just the script is fun. Like even when the stakes are so high and they're like running from a stampede of dinosaurs being chased by a T-Rex and they hide behind like the that pile of wood, like the stakes are high, but it's fun. Like the kid's like staring in awe as the dinosaur's eating its prey and Alan's like grabbing him, pulling away. It's just the movie's so much fun. I obviously I freaking love this movie.
It's amazing. Yeah.
It's not my pick, but you would think it is.
Yeah, it sounds like your
Also,
pick.
it's an adapted book. Someone just found Michael Crichton wrote
Crichton.
Jurassic Park, and then it's very different. And then they took the core concepts and made this movie it stands up as its own thing, being as good.
Yeah, he's also credited. I believe he used a screenplay credit, not just a story by credit. I think he helped write the script for the movie too. I
think you're
translated
correct.
it because I was just noticed that when I rewatched it.
They're actually, I don't know if anybody knows, they're rebooting Jurassic World to a new universe now. And Michael Crichton is writing it with somebody, and it's no more Chris Pratt. He's gone.
Yeah, they just
So they're fixing it, guys.
They had the director.
Way to ruin a franchise.
Who was the director? They had somebody lined up who then like dropped out of it. It's somebody who's like a recent big director. I think they might have. Who's the guy who did?
James Cameron.
No, I know. I just read this
Is it
article.
the guy who
too.
did the Star Wars movie Rogue One?
No,
forget.
yeah, it was
Right.
Gareth Edwards. Totally, exactly who it was.
And then he's the one that dropped out, or
He's doing it now. So Gareth
Okay.
Edwards
he
is
is?
directing it. Crichton is involved in the story. I can't remember who dropped out and they replaced with Gareth, but I think that's a good pull because the dude knows how to do monster movies, like
Yeah.
some of the best ever currently.
Okay. He also knows how to direct a gigantic franchise too. I mean, doing a Star Wars movie is and pleasing fans, like I believe he did with Rogue One, is really hard to do, especially with Star Wars fans. So it's like a huge budget and like lots of special effects is what he's going to be working with again. It was David Lech, who we love from Bullet Train and Deadpool 2. He was the one who dropped out. I think maybe he wasn't ready to work for with so much studio oversight. But he's doing Fall Guy too, so he has another movie, David Lech, coming out this next month.
Next month.
May, actually.
Is he
I thought
doing?
it was April.
Is he the director of Fall Guy?
I believe so.
That movie looks so good.
It could be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an awesome, interesting director, like fun action.
Yeah. Definitely. He was involved in the first John Wick too, right?
Yeah, he was, but he couldn't be credited as
First John Wick
the
2.
director.
Whoa.
There's only one John Wick 2.
Got him.
Yeah, I think he just makes really unique movies too. Like I don't know, they don't the 80s and 90s had so much like fun movies like that were just they didn't try to take themselves too seriously. And I feel like David Lech makes movies like Bullet Train that are like fun and good and like they're well made too.
It's stylistic action.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Andrew, what's yours?
You go next. I'll
You go next? Okay.
His is also Jurassic Park. So we
We're gonna wrap around. We'll do another 10 minutes on Jurassic Park.
I got you.
JP sandwich.
My favorite of all time is the Batman. Poster is behind me. I don't think it's in frame. Nope, it's not. But I just love this movie so much. I mean, we've talked about this movie so many times on this podcast. Stylistically, the lighting, the types of camera lenses they used, the Gotham's presence is very unique. I love the fighting. I love how much Batman is in the film. Love, again, I've said this so many times, how like Batman's the main character and he's kind of discovering Bruce Wayne. So yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I go back and forth between that and The Dark Knight, but I think the Batman is my favorite Batman on screen full movie.
Yeah.
Because it stands alone and the character building and everything on it is just, it's so strong.
Yeah.
It's just so strong. And everything ties together so well. And the world building somehow is different than all the other Batman movies that I've seen. Mm-hmm. You know, it's more alive in a weird way that I didn't think I wanted, but it makes the city feel like I'm reading a comic book.
It takes them so long to build that world, actually, that they have pushed back the production for the Batman Part 2 an entire year.
Brutal.
Yeah.
No, they did such a good job, I think, with making Gotham a character in a way that I don't think Gotham had ever been a character before. I think people really can point to the stylized nature of Gotham in movies like Tim Burton Batman's. It's stylized, but it's not the same level of character. Like when you're looking at all the corrupt cops, one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when Batman wakes up surrounded by GCPD officers and they're like almost gonna take off his mask, and then he's about to fight every cop. There's 50 cops in a room that should fit 10, and Gordon's like holding him back. I just think there's so much character to Commissioner Gordon, to Batman, to the life of the city, like to the villains, multiple villains in the movie. But then the city itself, the structures, like the Gothic architecture that fits Gotham. It seems like given, right? Like Gotham should be Gothic.
Yeah.
We got like I love the Nolan movies, but it's inarguable that Gotham is incomparable difference.
Yeah.
Way better in the Batman. The Chicago style Gotham is modern. It fit the world. But I love the way they built their world. I love the way that they used the giant volume style screens for the city backdrop so that they could really make the city come to life.
Scenes too.
They designed the city exactly how they had it in their mind. You don't have to like find a location that fits. You don't have to do location scouting. You build this high-rise location under construction, and boom, in the background, have your artists work up a Gotham that is exactly what the director and writer pictured in their mind. It's active, it's alive, there's cars driving around at nighttime. You choose the time of day, you have golden hour.
You can stay there, and shoot for hours if needed.
Brilliant. The car's beautiful, the suit is beautiful.
Dude, that scene with it jumping through the fire when it's chasing the penguin.
So cool.
That's
Greg
captured
Fraser,
in
bro.
camera. Like,
Yeah.
it looks stupid.
I don't even think that I can say, and this might be a hot take, I'm sure my fiance would disagree with me. I don't think I can say that Dune Part 2 is better visually than the Batman. I think my favorite of Greg Fraser's work is done on the Batman, which is saying something because Dune Part 2 and Dune look amazing.
And that's something that I love so much about this film, because the superhero genre is like one of my favorite genres. But there's, especially with like the MCU and even the DCU, like there's not too much like style separating movie from movie. But then this one just looks completely different than any other superhero movie that we've gotten. And also the soundtrack is amazing. I love the Batman theme. I've listened to it while I'm editing. Like, it gets me going. It's so good. And then got surround sound speakers. You just sit there next to the bass as you're watching. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, I think that everyone snapped. I mean, Greg Fraser with his control of exactly what you see, the lighting, the actual movement of the camera is probably my favorite part of the movie. The script is incredible. The music is, who is it?
Is it Hans Zimmer?
No, not for this one. It's Michael Giacchino.
Yes.
He snapped as well. I mean, it is so perfectly in tune to the Batman they're doing. It's bassier, it's booming, it's foreboding. It makes Batman almost villainous, almost monstrous.
Everything's
scary.
heavily stylized. Yeah.
Also, he's actually a detective.
Yeah.
Yes, the detective
great
aspect
to see.
is my favorite aspect of Batman. Like when you're reading comics or watching animated movies, it's highlighted so much more. You can probably point to a handful of scenes in the Nolan verse, like, you know, tracing the Scarecrow toxin, finding the bullet holes in the wall from the Joker.
I feel like in the movies they focus more that Batman has gadgets and he's rich, as opposed to no, he's a genius and there's a reason the money just lets his brain work. But he's a problem solver, he's a detective, and he can figure all these things out because he's capable.
A lot of people do complain that calling him stupid for not figuring out El Rata Alada.
Hey.
But I think the point is it's so obvious he didn't think about it.
Right under your nose, I think, is what Penguin says to him in the movie.
But also like the carpet tool was such a weird specific detail that
Tucker.
But you just see him look at it early on in that crime scene. They just have a shot of it to make sure you know to look at that, and then it comes back like an hour later. And that is great writing for a detective because the detective's keeping track of all those clues, and then all of a sudden it's like, there it is.
But also, there's so many little details in this movie. Like you just brought up the scene where he looks at the Tucker in the crime scene. I mean, there's so much folded into that one aspect there. He looks at the Tucker and says nothing, and he directs. Or maybe it's not the Tucker, but maybe it's some fibers on the carpet. But he looks at the floor in the crime scene and directs the attention of one of the professional crime scene investigators to walk over and look at it, something they had missed. Without saying a word. The camera's telling the story. They're also like telling you so much about Batman's character. Like he's stoic, he's foreboding, he doesn't talk, but he's knowledgeable, he's the smartest person in the room, he's observant, and he's like communicating, working with the GCPD without telling them what to do, without actually talking to them because he's a vigilante, he's a criminal. It's like so much folded into this one small look, and then like 3 shots. The shot of him looking, the shot of the floor, and then the shot of him again. Like it's incredible filmmaking to do so much non-verbally and to do it like to fold in so much character work at the same time. It's like they're juggling so many balls so brilliantly.
And part of the way that they were able to do that too is that Gordon's still talking during all of this happening. So there is like voiceover that you're listening to. So there's a lot of information all being balanced at once.
Yeah. What is it that he was looking at on the floor? Was it like
it was the indent or something of where the tool was.
The chip on the floor. Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah. So good.
Matt Reeves is doing some great work.
He's doing it too slow, if you ask me. Nolan pumped out Batman Begins.
He made a whole show.
3 years.
Yeah.
The Penguin comes out. They filmed a whole ass show.
Yeah. It's also only a 1 year difference, if I'm being honest. It's 1 year.
It's from Batman year 1 to year 2, and it takes some time.
Yeah. It takes 4 years.
It takes 4 years to build 1 year.
Yeah. Andrew?
My favorite movie of all time?
Yeah.
It's a mystery.
It's not, and it's going to make us seem very vanilla as podcast hosts, but my answer is The Dark Knight.
It's okay.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about it is, I've tried. I've tried I've tried to say my favorite movie is Django Unchained. I've tried to say it's Jurassic Park. I've tried to say it's The Matrix, but I'm lying. It's The Dark Knight, and I can't.
He's an honest man, folks. He's an honest man.
I can't convince myself that I'm something that I'm not. And I'm a Batman fan. I mean, I'm a Joker fan, and the Dark.
This guy's got receipts.
I'm a Naruto fan. But
Got Nolan in over here.
the thing about The Dark Knight is that no matter how much I try to not be a basic film bro and have it as my favorite movie, when I watch it, I remember that I am a basic film bro and it's my favorite movie. It's so like I can almost quote it line for line. I can't quite, but watching it, I can quote so many of the lines directly as I watch the movie.
Yeah.
It has my favorite opening scene of all time, my favorite score of all time, my favorite ending scene of all time, my favorite performance from any actor of all time with Heath
Well,
Ledger
that
as
covers
Joker.
the rest of our entire sheet here.
Well, I'm not going to pick any. I'm not going to pick the same movie twice.
The very end?
Yes.
Okay.
When he gives the speech and he says, excuse me.
What don't you like about it? You seemed like you were questioning
I'm trying to
that.
remember. This the very end is him hanging.
Here, no, I'll help you remember.
What's
it,
the
right?
very end?
So he's hanging off. He hands the kid up to Gordon. He falls. He hits the kid. Gordon and the kid go down.
Oh, the Two-Face scene. That's
Yeah,
the end.
and then he tries to call. Right, he tries to call for backup. Batman grabs his hand and puts it away. Batman's like, no. He's like, I killed those people. That's what I can be. And he's like, but you're not. And then he's like, I can be what I have to be for this city. And then he leaves on the motorcycle, right? And the kid's like, why is he running away? He's like, because he has to. And the kid's like, but he didn't do anything wrong. And he's like, he's not a hero. He's more. He's a white knight, a watchful protector.
I just knew he was going
Or not the White Knight.
I feel like I just baited him. Like, say no.
I know. I'm on
I'm
camera.
partially guilty too. I asked you to elaborate on your question.
I can do it better too, but I won't. I just have to think about. I have to get because I screwed up.
This
I
isn't
screwed
the
up
acting
line, too.
time.
Yeah. Oh man,
Wouldn't
that's
it have been
great.
better if it just ended with him hanging off the?
No, bro. He says he's like we'll set the dogs on him. The speech from Gary Oldman at the end is what makes the movie. And then he's driving off into the end of the
riling
tunnel at
them
the
up.
light, and as the light blots out the screen, the like from the Hans Zimmer score, it's the perfect movie ending.
It is a really
It's a great
cool,
movie. Like, I'm not trying to show in the dark by any means.
It's a really cool line delivery of the title of the movie.
Yeah. He says he's a silent guardian, a watchful protector, the Dark Knight. Boom.
Can we change this to take 3?
Take 3.
No,
Okay,
that's a great choice.
that was 20 minutes for the first one. So we're doing good.
Maybe we'll cover 3.
Well, we also started strong with favorite film of all time.
Yeah.
hard not to.
So now maybe we'll go a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
The next one on the list is best script, and I'm curious how you guys like differentiated the two when picking these movies for each category.
So, here I could start because I originally had The Matrix, but I actually don't think that's a good script. I think it's good execution because the script just likes and they fight and then she floats and then you do this. I think for me, best script that I wrote is Parasite.
Yeah.
Because the way Parasite is written and the way that story unfolds, it is like reading a novel that you are fully and depthly absorbed into.
It's hard for me to evaluate best script on a foreign language film because I can't quite absorb the delivery of the dialogue as well. But I do
Sure.
absolutely see what you're saying. That is, a lot of people would call it a perfect film.
Character
perfect
driven,
movie.
I think.
Yeah.
And they're teasing things. Everything pays off. There's no red herrings or any checkoff bullshit. Like, if they show it, it's going to happen and it's going to pay off. And reading it, it really is like reading a novel. Like, you're developing these characters and you're following these through lines. And then all the little payoffs happen. You're like, oh my God, yeah, they just did that. And then when you see it visually, it's better than what I at least had when I like read the screenplay. Like, the movie is so much stronger.
There's a lot of classism in South Korea, and so that shines through in a lot of their films. And the writing of the script just brilliantly like doles out these metaphors in the same way the visuals of the movie do too.
Yeah.
Cinematography highlights the classism, the highs and lows. You know, the rich people live on the top of the hill, the poor people live on the bottom, get flooded.
Have you seen it, Aaron?
I have not.
Okay, I know you. I feel like it's up your alley because it's already have subtitles. They're built in.
Yes.
I genuinely think you should watch it.
Yeah,
I think
it's on the list.
It's
It
an
is-
important movie to watch for the 21st century. I think
Yeah.
Is it on HBO?
It's streaming somewhere,
Somewhere.
I know for sure. But it's just so strong, and it's also unlike all of the other movies this guy makes, where this is very much, like you said, it's a caste system. It's the rich versus the poor. They're both parasites, but who's the worst parasite? And they really play off of that so well.
it's also like maybe the funniest drama that I've.
It's actually surprisingly really funny.
It's really funny. To
Even
watch
when it's
in
like
the first
crazy
half.
bloody and stuff towards the end, it's kind of hilarious because like this shouldn't be happening, and it's just like so out of the blue.
I don't. Maybe I shouldn't say like the funniest drama. Maybe that's hyperbole. But I think it was the funniest drama of the year it came out. What,
It's
2020?
yeah. Oh yeah. Geez. No, it has lighthearted, funny moments that don't make sense for the story, but that's also why it works because it's like it's people being awkward and it's like this is a weird situation.
The first half is so funny. The tricks they're playing, and I won't say too much for people who might not have seen it. And
Seriously, watch Parasite. If for those who didn't watch the director's draft, the director Bong Joon-ho was on my list. Like his movies are so unique and so different than anything else anyone is making right now.
Do you know how much better a foreign language film has to be than all the other Best Picture nominees to beat them?
Yeah.
Like it's so hard for a foreign language film to win over American audiences, and they did it.
No, they tried
that
it
is
again this
incredible.
year with Anatomy of a Fall. Got nominated, but it
Close.
didn't.
There's 2 foreign language films nominated. I think Zone of Interest was nominated too.
Zone of Interest. Yeah, I haven't watched that one yet. I need to, but
I also have only seen Anatomy of a Fall and not Zone of Interest.
no, Zone of Interest is a hard watch. You really got to be in the mood for that.
It's like Schindler's List.
Andrew, favorite script?
I think I had a different answer when we talked about it previously. This, I feel like there are so many good answers for favorite script because, like, is my favorite script the one that has the best dialogue, or is my favorite script the one that has the best overall story, best character development, the most fun, funny, enthralling? Die Hard has an incredible script. It's cheesy, but I freaking love it to death. But I think, like, what I'm gonna go with is the one that I always tout for having such a good script, Sorkin's dialogue on Social Network. The David Fincher masterpiece. I just think what I've always said about this movie, and I'll say it 100 times more, I'll say it on camera, I'll say it off camera, I'll shout it from the rooftops, is that they take something that in concept I think should be so boring, which is coding and creating a social media website, should be no fun, and the script shines along with the performances and the directing. The script makes this movie incredible. The script is just feeding, Eisenberg, Andrew Garfield. It's feeding Justin Timberlake. Like the people have like everything they need. It's theirs to blow, and they knocked it out of the park. Like when even in the beginning when he's like having that hearing and he's like, oh yeah, you found me in however many hours, but if you really knew where to look, you would have seen the writing on the window of my dorm room. Like I know Zuckerberg came out, like he's like, I'm not really like that, but this is so much more entertaining. He's like this smart ass genius, like so much fun. I love those kind of characters. And like the scene at the end where Eduardo Saverin confronts Mark Zuckerberg in the big blowout in Facebook offices is one of the best written, one of the best overall scenes of all time. It's like clipped so much, and it's just so good, the back and forth.
It is paced really well for the topic. Like it does hold your attention the entire movie, and you're right, it's so boring. What they're actually telling.
Sorkin is just so damn good at writing dialogue.
He really is. Him and Tarantino both so good.
But different styles too, because his stuff is always like, it's intelligent, like political based. It's like so much more, say more smarter. I'm not trying to denigrate Tarantino, but like Sorkin writes really smart scripts that are approachable for your average audience to really delve into and get absorbed into. He's just so snappy in the way everything kind of flows together.
Tarantino's just really good at writing what sounds like a conversation.
Two dudes talking.
Like and it's all in the same way where it's not like boring that you're watching somebody talk. It's entertaining watching people have a real conversation.
He takes like a serious topic, but then throws in like these cheesy parts that work really well with the story that he's telling. He's like, he makes cheesy, not cheesy movies. He's
really good at it. I think that's the way to say it. But
it's cartoons. It's cartoons for adults, especially Django. Basically. Like that movie turns into a cartoon, and then it's the best way.
It's the best way to go. Absolutely.
It kind of helps digest the serious nature of like Django.
Yes.
It makes it to where like you can actually get through this film multiple times.
Yeah. But they're still hitting those scenes where they want you to connect. This is bad, and this is like this is this dude getting one over. And
are you guys ready for my speech from Social Network?
Arron, what's your favorite script?
I'll do my line reading from.
My favorite script is Prisoners.
I knew you were going to say Prisoners.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
It's a good ass script.
It's what I was thinking of when I was thinking best script was the character development and dialogue between characters. And I love how Hugh Jackman's character like transforms and he's letting his kind of rage and frustration and sadness like overwhelm him and take over his character completely to seek revenge and to find his daughter, but like go past the line, you know?
Yeah.
Like he's trapped the man in the shower and is burning him repeatedly, you know, like even just the scene in the bathroom where he's like slamming the hammer down, like, and
Where's my daughter?
and then slams the hammer into the wall. Like,
Yeah. Well, that's
So
the thing
cool.
too. It's like the performances are amazing, but the script it's there. Like their performances are accentuating what's on the paper. Because they're like action sequences. It's a dialogue heavy movie, so everything's written out for the most part.
Yeah.
And the fact that you have all this development, and then Hugh Jackman brings another layer to it. It's like, oh,
and the amount of tension that's in the car when Detective Loki, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, is following Hugh Jackman's character.
to
And-
the abandoned house.
Yeah, and then he turns around, he grabs a beer, comes into the car, and they sit and they're talking in the car. The amount of tension that's there, it's like, where are you headed?
Yeah.
He's like,
So am I going to have to
"Wanna get a
arrest you
beer?"
for
Yeah.
drinking and driving now?
yeah,
Actually, I think he grabs a bottle of Jack Daniels, but
It was a bottle of whiskey.
alcohol. Yeah,
Have
you know
not
what I
seen
mean.
that, Aaron? Have you not seen Persons?
I've seen it once back in the
I'll
day.
show it to you sometime.
That's a great choice.
Yeah, I
That
love
really
it.
is a great choice.
All right, our next topic is favorite poster.
Okay, we pulling these up?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull them up.
All right. The Looper poster by Mondo is my choice.
Looper.
So Looper poster is dope in general, but this one by Mondo, Mondo, type in after poster, please, sir. This is one of the only movie posters I have in my home. Yeah, there he is. So this guy right here, they made a couple versions. So it's the silver is actually silver and the gold is actually gold, but it combines both timelines in one photo. And I fucking love it.
That's so trippy because it's actually the theme of the movie.
Yeah, dude, it's like it sums up a movie in
Screen.
I don't know, but it sums up a movie in an image. Like if you've seen the movie, you could look at that poster and be like, okay, I get it.
Where'd it go?
I don't know.
Well,
Well, you can go back to the other one. I'm sure that was fine.
Aaron lost it.
I did lose it. It's weird.
But yeah, but Looper I love Looper, and this poster, this guy Mondo, he's just an artist, and he makes posters for a bunch of famous movies, and he sells them. So this was like 1 of 200. I was fortunate to get one, but I freaking love it so much. I really do. I like the emotion and Emily Blunt swapping the way they have it there.
The way the gun comes out the left side and back
And the right side.
It's
Flips around.
It's a loop, yeah.
It's
Kinda
just really
genius.
clever, man. And
Doesn't that kind of look like Daniel Craig?
a little
This
bit.
is an age discipline of it. They use like special effects to make him look more like Bruce Willis. So it's not like it's his-
Yeah, it was makeup and some special effects. But even like the way they blend their heads together, like Bruce Willis's, I don't want to move my hand on the camera, but like his clothing is on Joseph Gordon-Levitt's neck and it swaps over. It's just a dope poster.
It's also so funny because chronologically we do everything in the West, like reading wise, from left to right, and like Levitt's on the left, Willis is on the right because this is him in the future. The gun is pointing back from the past towards the future, like the movie. Very unique, very very clever.
Yeah, I freaking love it.
Great poster.
And you could be like, wait, Bruce Willis's gun is pointing at himself. Exactly. Because
Andrew?
oh yeah, I mean I have loads of answers for this, but the first one that comes to mind for me is Baby Driver.
Baby
It's
Driver.
tough because I would want to put it in another category, and it's definitely not that one. The one on it's down in the middle left, left there, back right.
One. Oh, the
Yeah,
gun?
the one that looks cool. Yeah.
Oh, the gun firing the car. Yeah, it's pretty good actually.
So I like posters with a lot of simplicity, and
Hey, you can buy it.
I just love this poster. How much is it?
$5.99 GBP.
What is a GBP?
I don't know, but it's $7.57 US.
No, but I love this poster because it's just so freaking cool. Like it's
Very simplistic.
It is. Edgar Wright has such good posters, and I like that this one has kind of that grindhouse feel to it, like noir 70s. Someone just printed this on a piece of paper and hung it up.
I think the best posters are like something very simple, or like a metaphor. Or like I don't need the actors' faces to be on the cover of the movie. And
Yeah, not always for
me,
sure.
All you need is one killer track. That's a good,
Also, with
good
that-
slogan.
That's a great slogan. But this poster, I get the vibe of the movie when that's what you need to do. Like if I didn't know what this movie was, that would probably sell me to go see it just by walking through a movie theater.
Yeah. Great poster. Mine is The Dark Knight.
The Night Knight.
The Night Knight. Also, another top tier one over Aaron's shoulder, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
I like the reversal
That's
of
the one I was going back and forth between. Oh, keep forgetting to type poster.
Are you looking for the classic one or the Joker one?
Yeah, which one are you thinking of?
Joker. Oh, that's not. Come on.
That one's really great.
That is a good poster.
The classic one's pretty iconic too. It's it's also simplistic, but that one's very iconic. It's like become like the Scarface of the 21st century, like the one with him standing in front of the building.
It's just so clever. Like having him paint blood that's his smile. It's again like a poster should tell you about this character, and this character is fucked up in the head. Like I can get that immediately just by watching this poster.
Boom.
Looking at this poster.
There it is. Wow.
It also like adds to his
serious.
anonymity of the character because he's behind like some fogged-looking glass. Like it adds to the mystery and mystique. You got Gotham in the background.
Yep.
Got everything you need. Summer 2008.
I was just thinking that. It's almost 20 years ago. God.
Yeah. I don't know. I just really like the kind of the framing of the poster and how he's like behind this like fogged glass, where he's blurry, kind of pulling the strings in the background kind of thing.
That's a dope poster.
Yeah. All right. Look at us cruising through.
That was an easy
We're doing
category.
so much better now.
Okay. The next category on here is I'll watch it someday. And I feel like I have a ton of these.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you do.
Like
Parasite.
Parasite.
Yeah, it's like literally.
You already got yours earlier in the episode.
Yeah.
What'd you put for this one? What are you thinking?
For this one, I put a whole franchise.
Oh my god.
Starting with the first one, obviously, and
Lord
that
of the Rings.
is
Serious?
Lord of the Rings.
I gotta watch that someday. But the one that I wrote down is Terminator.
Oh, you haven't seen any Terminator movies?
Not a single one. Not a single one.
That is egregious.
Okay, I can't watch every movie out there, man.
Yeah, but you have
No one's asking you to.
I know, but I just haven't seen it.
you have to have at least watched Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 or have your podcast
what
license
I've heard.
revoked.
Yeah, man. Like, fuck. Like, Terminator 2 is the best sequel ever made.
I've heard.
Like,
So I've heard.
Terminator 2 is the best sequel ever made.
Crazy, bro. The Dark Knight exists.
Yeah.
Tension. Yeah, I'll watch it someday.
You have to see the Terminator movies.
James
I know.
Cameron,
Just watch
I've
the
heard.
first two. That's all you got.
James Cameron's the king of sequels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also made Aliens.
Avatar 2, The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
The Way of Water.
That movie won an Oscar too.
Yeah, they got the deaf girl Navi waterbending.
All right.
Man, you got to do better with that. That's
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying. But the problem is I keep trying to make things, and that takes up my time from
no
watching
excuse.
things.
You could watch the first two Terminators, and you can schedule a day to watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Another
I'm
time.
trying.
But
I'm trying.
Mine is really bad.
All right. What is it?
This is a huge like gap in my movie watching experience, but Titanic.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I
always forget that you haven't seen that.
It's a great movie.
The thing is, I've only seen. We're doing James Cameron again, but I've seen bits and pieces of Titanic, and obviously I know the entire story of Titanic. So it's hard to make myself sit down and watch a movie that I think is pretty long when I know the entirety of the story of the movie. Like I know that Jack and Rose are going to fall in love, the ship's going to capsize, he's not going to fit on the door. Like,
I mean, that's the ending. One aspect of the movie.
I know that they're going to stand on the ship and do the thing at the bow of the ship. I know they're going to.
What do you know about Billy Zane?
I know that he's going to paint her.
There's like
I know the
2
band.
hours and 59 minutes that you're missing there.
I know the band. I know the band.
It's 3.5 hours.
I know the band's gonna play as the ship goes down, and it's impossible to go through life not knowing so much about this movie.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty true. When I saw it in theaters, there was an intermission. Back when they do intermission still.
It should be,
So it's a long.
That's nice. I wish they would do that more often.
but it's like people nowadays watching like The Sixth Sense. It's like there's so much less incentive to watch The Sixth Sense when it's been spoiled for everybody on Earth.
It's hard when movies are so commercially successful and worldwidely known.
And
that you
stupid
pop
people on
culture really
podcasts talk about it, share it on TikTok, and then everyone knows the ending.
Well, for instance, I've never seen The Godfather, but I know that movie beat.
Is that
for beat.
yours?
No.
That should be.
I know the movie.
I haven't seen it either.
Said I know that movie beat for beat. I've seen many cartoons do the whole story from front to back. I've seen it ripped off so many times that.
The thing about that movie though is to me the highlight of The Godfather isn't the story at all. Even though the arc of Michael Corleone is great, and people are like, Al Pacino and Marlon Brando, best performances of all time. the best thing to me about that movie is the lighting. Like so much like natural lighting in the scenes, and so much like there's like really very lit or hard to tell, at least artificial light. The movie's lit so dark.
Motivated lighting.
It's so freaking cool.
Huh?
Look up the cinematography list for The Godfather. I'm just curious, or the DP.
I think you would enjoy
is it Stellario?
I think you would enjoy just looking at this movie. That's why I think it's a good watch.
I mean, let's be real. I will have to watch it at some point.
The dialogue's really good. It's very dramatic.
But it's like you said,
good
it's
tone.
when I have limited time, it's hard for me to go to a movie that I kind of
Hey,
have seen.
do better.
I think it's
okay.
longer.
Just
I think it's
do
longer
better.
as well.
That's what someone gave
Just
me
curious,
advice for.
if it's Vittorio Storaro.
long
Vittorio Storaro. It's not. It's Gordon Willis, so never mind.
Yeah. I remember that now.
But cool.
I
No,
never
that's
thought of it.
So what was your choice? Sorry, I got to.
My choice?
Yeah. Well, no, that was your choice.
Yeah.
Was
Mine was
Titanic.
but also
yours
Terminator.
was Terminators.
And yours is
Mine is the Scorsese movies that are too long. So Killers of the Flower Moon, probably never gonna watch. Irishman, probably never gonna watch. I've seen clips. It's my thing is when a movie is 3.5 hours long. Even Oppenheimer was hard to like make time to go watch, and I made sure to see it in the theater. And I was in the theater for 4 hours because
didn't you fall asleep?
I missed a little bit of Florence Pugh in the beginning, in the middle rather.
In the middle. Yeah.
In the middle, I missed like one sex scene. It's like it's fine.
You literally
They cut
missed
that
all
scene-
of her.
Well, you know what? They cut her out of the Chinese version, so I'm just going to assume I saw the Chinese version. It's the same movie. It's fine.
the poor people of China. My
Condolences.
Missing that
Viewing pleasure.
yeah,
but that's
this
the
should
thing
be
for
your
me.
answer, honestly.
What?
The Godfather should
Let's
be.
make it The Godfather. That's something I should probably see as a director and someone in the film industry.
Francis Ford Coppola is goated. I think that it's a good answer too. But both are good answers. Aaron should add The Godfather to his list.
I have a lot of movies on my list to watch.
Also-
There's a lot of holes.
Also at the top of my list is The Thing. I will get to watching that. I really badly want to see it. I really do. And nothing's holding me back other than just like it's not on like a streaming service.
Yeah, I haven't
like
seen
if it was on Netflix, I would watch
Dude,
it.
spend $3 and rent it from Amazon because the thing will change your life in terms of like what movies can be. You think like the practical effects in Jurassic Park? Watch The Thing.
Yeah, I really want to see it. I want to see Russell Crowe in a movie. Like I don't really love any Russell Crowe movies yet.
I'm not going to correct him.
Wait, is it Kurt Russell? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
I didn't know.
Where's
I haven't
the
seen it.
ship?
I love a ton of Russell Crowe movies. Excuse me. I freaking love Russell Crowe. Gladiator, Beautiful Mind. Yeah. I
You freaking had Nice Guys on when I walked in.
I did.
I love the Nice Guys.
I was watching Nice Guys.
He has a lot of good movies. For some reason, I feel like he's so magnetic in everything that he's in. Even Body of Lies.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Honestly, for a bad movie, he's pretty great as Zeus.
He's just a really good actor, and like something about him on screen it draws you to it. That's what a good actor is.
Making movies, making songs, and fighting around the world.
Justin just sent me his list of all of these.
Every single one.
He's always
said he
like
was
trying
filling it
to
out.
shoehorn his way into.
he's like, I'm still in it. I'm still in it.
He's like, just in case.
His I'll watch it someday is probably
But
ginormous.
his I'll watch it someday. Toy Story.
Yeah, he
That's
hasn't,
a Toy Story.
That's a
he
crazy
hasn't
one.
seen like half the Pixar movies, and I don't understand that.
Isn't that wild?
As a child,
Yeah, I know.
I thought just everyone on Earth saw them. Honestly, I thought like that.
Right.
You couldn't.
no, he
survive
keeps
them.
watching
Yeah.
Cars on loop. Like that's what he's doing
Why?
because he likes cars. He never shuts up
Moana.
about
If you want to
cars.
listen to Rascal Flatts, just
Moana.
use Spotify.
Okay, next one. Biggest personal impact. What you guys got?
It's funny
This
'cause-
one was hard for me to come up with, which is funny because it's like a personal movie to you.
Yeah, I had 3 and they've all been mentioned. I won't, since I already said Jurassic Park, but you guys explained that. That's pretty big. I'll say,
Yeah.
I also said Terminator, which someone hasn't seen. It's crazy, but I'm going to go with The Matrix.
It's gonna get real awkward.
That's the first Matrix. Are you guys all choosing The Matrix? The first Matrix movie.
Not me.
Big personal impact. Again, never saw a movie like that. It changed cinema for the better, I think. And it just brought anime to America in a weird way. But The Matrix, again, mind blowing. I was old. I was 11 years old or some shit. Like it's you don't see stuff like that before, and I was kind of blown away.
0.
You've never seen The Matrix?
No, I said
No, he was
I
0
when
years
it
old.
Came out.
Oh, okay.
Matrix is one of his favorite movies.
So I was gonna say,
So are you picking The Matrix or are you picking Die Hard?
I'm pick The Matrix.
Matrix?
Nice.
Yeah. The Matrix, I think, is the movie that made me fall in love with movies. And I think that's why it's the most impactful because it came out the year I was born, 1999. And my
Decade older than you.
my grandfather bought it on DVD. And my grandfather is the one who taught me to love movies. And like my dad wasn't around, so I was really close with my grandfather. And The Matrix is a movie that I used to have him put on repeat. I would ask him to fast forward to the kicking butt scenes, and we would fast forward to Morpheus versus Neo, and when he's
so good.
in the hallway with the trench coat and the guns. This movie came out in theaters recently. It was shown for one day on a Wednesday night, 7 p.m. showing across AMC's in the area. I had to drive 45 minutes to the nearest theater. I took toll roads, paid for tolls. I bought my Dolby Digital ticket, which was like $25 because I purchased it online. I spent $30 on food. And I sat in my seat and watched it by myself because nobody wanted to go with me. But I refuse to not watch The Matrix in theaters when I have the opportunity, because it came out when I did not have the opportunity. And it was a mind-blowing experience to see it on the big screen. And screw you for not coming with me.
You invited me like the day of.
I didn't know you yet. I would have gone with you.
I put it in the. Are you not in the Discord? I put it in the Discord.
I am after. I think since the last episode, I've joined the Discord, but I was not previously.
He's a shadow member.
I'm a shadow member.
Yeah, I put.
He's never commented, he probably doesn't get notifications.
I just search for my name every day to see who's talking about me.
I put an open invitation in the Discord because I like in the span of like 5 days, I went to see Jurassic Park on Sunday actually, and then I went to see The Matrix on Wednesday, and cool. I was like, man, this is such a good birthday month because like they're showing all my I did my top 20 favorite movies of all time. Both these movies are in my top 10, and Matrix is just really influential to me. Another movie that I think's made me think really differently about life is About Time. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie.
I have not.
I haven't heard of it.
It's about a guy who can he inherits an ability from his father where like he can go into a closet and then go back in time, and he can like change the outcome of things. And the movie is about him like learning to like appreciate life day by day. It's really cool. I don't want to spoil the specifics for you.
I mean, I can just watch Click again.
It's very different from Click. But
About Time though?
Yeah, Domhnall Gleeson, Margot Robbie's in it.
Wait, have I seen this movie?
I don't know.
I think I just had a trailer flash in my head when you said Domhnall Gleeson, but I don't think I've seen it. But I have an image in my head now. I'm gonna check it out.
It's really, really very good.
If you're saying it's a big personal impact, I will absolutely check it out.
I
could say that to you, and I know Arron won't watch Terminator, but
I can trust you, is what you're saying.
yeah,
I'll try. Okay,
yeah, I went
someday.
with Matrix for mine as well.
Mine was having a really hard time thinking of what this one was, so I went with the first kind of movie that came to mind, and that is Zootopia. Yeah. Just because of the experience that I had with my wife watching it and how we were both kind of shocked by the story. Like we just kind of put it on in the background and we ended up being glued to the chair, watching the movie together. And it was just a lot of fun to experience that with Brooke because she never watches movies with me. So there's a few movies that we've spent like some time like sitting together watching a movie that we both enjoy. So
right on.
That was my movie.
Zootopia is awesome.
It is.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
The sequel's supposedly coming out finally.
I heard.
End of this year into next year.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool.
I feel like it's interesting because I feel like you pick movies like from like your childhood, but I feel like you didn't watch as many movies in your childhood.
I didn't.
I think that's exactly what it is. There's gaps that you have that you were alive when these movies came out.
Well, my parents were pretty strict with what I was allowed to watch. So I really wasn't allowed to watch a lot of types of movies until I was like midway through high school, 15, 16, 17.
Yeah.
And then of course, once I like graduated, like I could start watching whatever I want.
Straight to the hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to leave the VeggieTales behind.
Right. Which was really hard to do.
Yeah. That zucchini's funny.
Yeah, it is. The next topic on here, I feel like we should kind of go fast through some of these. This one, I feel like we could just mention and move on to the next one, and that is best long movie. Mine is Titanic.
Yeah, mine too.
Titanic.
And in parentheses, I believe it said 3 hours plus. So
Avengers Endgame.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one, I changed my answer.
I put The Green Mile. The Green Mile. If people have not seen The Green Mile hater.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
I saw that movie when I was a kid, and it really I'm gonna be honest, I haven't watched it again in a long time, but I have specific memories to a lot of the imagery in that movie, and I very much latched on to some of that stuff growing up. Definitely not a perfect movie, but there's some scenes that are very powerful and some imagery that I just can't shake.
I watched it last year for the first time, and I just thought it was like really poorly paced.
Well, when did it come out? Wasn't it like
There's
late
no
90s, early 2000s?
there's no perfectly paced movie that's 3 hours plus.
No.
There is absolutely not. The Avengers Endgame is too long. Like
Even
absolutely.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I literally fell asleep in the middle of it.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I thought I was gonna love the Green Mile, like Tom Hanks and the other actor who's in
Michael
it.
Clarke Duncan.
Yeah, Michael Clarke Duncan. He's amazing. He's such a good fit for the role, and they do such a good job of making him seem like a behemoth. I mean, he is a behemoth, but they make him seem
their
even
camera
bigger.
angles.
Yeah, the camera angles. I think at some points they have him on blocks, like when he's standing,
do, yeah.
to make him even bigger. He's huge. I mean, he's Kingpin. I mean,
He is.
he's jacked and he's huge and he's unbelievable in that movie. Like he's wearing like a t-shirt and you're like, why does he have Arnold Schwarzenegger arms? Like, why is Mr. Olympia in this movie?
Like, where's the Predator? Is he going to fight the Predator?
I just feel like the movie like had the opportunity to like do more with the story.
Yeah, I don't remember, to be honest with you, but I just know that I remember, because again, I could get like, you guys said the obvious ones. Return of the King is another one, but I feel like a lot of those movies too, you need, like even Endgame, it's on the weight of other movies. And for a movie to be that long, to be entertained by it, like you said, without pacing issues, is just very hard.
I'd like say almost impossible.
The next category is a fun one, and it's you like, but everyone else hates.
Eternals.
I agree.
I like
That's
Eternals.
a great pick.
I thought-
I really liked Eternals too.
Yeah.
Is that your answer? Are you switching your answer? Or do you
No, I have a different answer, but I would
just-
say a movie that fits that category very nicely.
Yeah, considering all but one of their movies last year was, and even Guardians 3 is a great movie, but not the movie I thought I was going to go watch. Like they kind of bungled last year, I thought. But I liked Eternals the year prior because it felt like a new thing. Let's try something different. Let's hire a cinematic director. Let's have character development.
Right, it had style. I thought they introduced us to all 6 new characters very seamlessly.
Yeah.
I felt like I cared about all of them.
I agree.
And I knew enough about all of them to be connected throughout the story. The style was really cool, but then also the effects, or like the graphic effects of their powers.
Yeah.
Like the Speedster looks amazing.
It looks really good.
Yeah, it looks so good. And then we had the Flash come out that was being made for 16 years, and it looks terrible.
Yeah.
You know, so like they did so many things right.
Yeah. I understand people not liking a shoehorned in romance, and I can understand that, but it didn't bother me as much as others. And like you said, the characters, I don't remember them now, but when I was watching that movie, I knew all of their names.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they did a good job making sure I could track and keep point with everything.
Yeah, I really like that movie.
Yeah, so that's
Do you like that movie?
Eternals? Yeah, I think it's way overhated, honestly.
That's the category.
Do you know your movie for this? Or you want me to go?
You go first.
Okay.
I have one in mind, but
This one is more of the most recent movie that I liked that everyone seems to hate.
yeah, I hate
and that
that one.
was Leave the World Behind. So many people hated that movie, and I had a lot of fun watching it.
You were the only person who has told me to watch that.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
listen, I've tried again, and I'll check the reviews, and I'm like, I don't know what Aaron's talking
Yeah,
about. Like,
I know. I feel like I'm on this island that I didn't realize that I'm all of a sudden on all by
pretty
myself. There's
crazy,
no one
yeah.
with me.
Aaron's tripping, dude. Aaron's tripping.
Oh, it was entertaining. It was good.
it's just long. Like, again, it's 2.5 hours for something I'm probably going to hate. Like, it's hard to.
It's all build up and no capitalization.
But I don't know. For me, it worked. For like, it did have a very like that's the ending kind of ending, and for whatever reason, I liked it. It worked. I thought the cinematography was really cool. It's definitely heavily stylized, and I've heard some complaints of people saying it's distracting. I didn't think so. I thought it was really cool, and maybe that's just because I'm into making movies and doing shots, and I'm like, oh, that was a really cool shot. So it didn't take me out of the movie because I knew I was watching a movie.
Yeah. That's part of the problem, too, is sometimes you see how the sausage is made, but it actually makes it better. But
Yeah.
most modern people, like, don't care about that.
Right.
I can get that. Yeah.
So I don't know. It was fun. It was interesting. I thought it had a lot of tense points where I was like, what's going on? And I liked how it was left kind of open ended at the end. It kind of matched the parallel story that they were telling. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
Very nice.
Everyone else hated it.
I think I have an answer. I don't know. how perfectly it fits. But I remember being really confused by a lot of the negative reaction to this movie a couple years ago. It has like a 38% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty low. Don't Worry, Darling, with Florence Pugh and Harry Styles,
Yeah,
directed by Olivia
It was
Wilde.
okay. It was okay.
I think it's too.
I liked it.
I think it's
Yeah.
too weird for a mainstream audience.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't bad.
I like a movie that feels. Here's what I want in a movie. I want it to feel like an episode of Black Mirror, but extended to be a longer tomato movie. That is what I love about A24 is they feel like Black Mirror episodes.
Yeah.
No, I can see that.
And I think Don't Worry, Darling is really visually stylized. It has some really cool shots and really beautiful colors. It has Florence Pugh, which is always a plus.
Yeah. I will say too, I know part of the reason also is when that movie came out, it's when homewrecker Harry Styles was going around. So people were just review bombing that because quote unquote, whatever happened. But like, that's
And
also
he
why
spit on Chris Pine.
spit on Chris.
First of all, another guy.
My favorite Chris.
Another guy who's very magnetic. I think Chris Pine is so cool whenever he's in anything. I wish he was in that movie more. My main critique about that movie is the best scene is the back and forth at like the dinner that they have, but the back and forth between Chris Pine and Florence Pugh. It's the best part of the movie, and I wish they extended more on that dynamic rather than like pushing him aside as like a secondary villain. And the movie kind of sells at the end, kind of sells the plot, but it's still pretty cool like visually up until the end.
Yeah.
That's a good
Anticlimactic
pick.
at the end.
No, I'm always pining for Pine. He's genuinely he's my favorite Chris.
Pine for Pine.
He's great.
He is.
Like no shade against Chris Pine.
Wait, over Nolan?
Yeah.
What?
I don't want to fuck Chris Nolan.
Have you seen him?
Yeah.
He's a stud.
I like Jonathan better. I'm a Jonathan Nolan.
Jonathan
fan.
Nolan.
Okay. You hate it, but everyone else loves it.
You guys go first.
Yeah. I mean, I'm free willing my answer, so Aaron, you go ahead.
Okay. I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, what you
And
got?
that is Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, I got an answer.
Why?
Because I don't see what people liked about it.
It's
It was
fun.
it was so annoying, and it was too drastic of a change of character for me, and it wasn't. I don't know. I didn't find it fun at all.
I think that if you just suspend disbelief like an inch more, that movie can just be a fun time.
If you can suspend disbelief to
I
believe that a man can hold on to a hammer that he throws.
But I don't like
believe in the
I don't
character.
like stupid funny humor, and that's what this movie was. It was just stupid funny
mean,
humor.
it's a little
and I
bit-
don't feel like a lot of it landed for me. There's definitely funny parts. Don't get me wrong.
It's a leap from Thor Ragnarok to Dumb and Dumber, honestly. Like
I think Thor Ragnarok works where, let's say, Ant-Man Quantumania fails. Because Quantumania is like I'm watching a bad Rick and Morty spinoff.
Sure.
But
I can't remember a
think-
single joke from Quantumania.
Me
But
neither.
no, the Broccoli Man is all I remember. But Ragnarok has character development that fixes Thor. Thor was awful. He was good in the first Avengers, and that first movie's fine. But like they have the God of Thunder, who's an amazing Avenger character, and they weren't doing enough with him. So I like that he was the gateway to space and to weird shit with the Guardians. Like it was the way to bring these gods and all these higher tiered characters into the Marvel universe. But Thor being kind of a dumb dude is like, oh, it was a fun. I thought he was like an audience analog to be like, what the
I
fuck
hear
is going
you.
on?
And I don't care.
Plus, we found our way back to Jeff Goldblum.
I also didn't like Bruce Banner in that movie. I thought he was dumb for no reason when he's not supposed to be.
Just don't like the movie.
I just
at all.
yeah,
Well,
I
he
didn't
was-
like
he
the
was,
movie.
He was the Hulk.
I didn't like the movie.
Okay.
But everyone else loved it, and that's this category.
a longer topic.
I think it's a top tier Avengers movie just because you've got like a gladiator battle between the Hulk and Thor, and it's pretty.
I mean, yeah, that's cool.
Also, when they play the like the rock music as he's diving out, lightning shooting out of his eyes.
They heavily,
It's all right.
it's painterly.
It's all right.
All right, so this category is Aaron hates good movies.
And I'm about to hate on a movie that
It's a mid movie.
everyone universally
mid
says
movie.
is good.
What?
My one that I think gets way too much love and I genuinely don't like is 2001: A Space Odyssey.
It's a really great movie that doesn't hold up now.
It's a well-made movie. I can look at it and be like, wow, the like scene where they're rotating in zero gravity. That's cool that they made that like whatever 60 years ago, 70, and it's probably even more now.
It's from the 70s, I believe.
So that's like 50 years ago. So
Yeah.
it's very impressive the way that they did some of the tricks that they did, the way they got some of the scenes. And then I think they have people like practical effects, so people dressed up like monkeys for the opening. It's just so slow. There's like not enough dialogue for me.
It's not. It's not a movie in the traditional sense, though. That's also the thing. It's more like scenes through consciousness of like the director's vision of what life is.
I feel like it's more like a book. It's like
It is.
a movie is like a visual book in a sense, but this is way more book than movie.
So, yeah, I can see the ending is very much of its time. It's quite literally close to 30 minutes
be honest,
of the universe being born.
I didn't make it to the ending.
See, the ending is actually so. I would recommend you just watch the ending online because what they do is they're showing the universe being born, but they do it all through practical burning of film strips with colors. It looks incredible because it's actually like film being burnt to look like a galaxy forming.
But that's what I mean is like impressive filmmaking does not a good movie make. You know what I mean? Like I could get the coolest shot of all time.
Preach it. Preach it.
I want to argue, but I can't. This is the thing, like, I don't fully disagree with you,
it's
but it's
like-
also hard when a movie's 50 plus years old.
This movie is in the I'll watch it someday category for me.
You'll hate it. You'll hate it so much more than I do.
You'll
I
hate
think.
it, actually.
Probably.
Yeah, it's like this movie's kind of like Ragnarok. It's not doing it for me. It's too colorful.
It's often,
Why is the Hulk here?
colors, okay?
it's often compared to Ragnarok. I
Yeah.
think.
See,
What's yours?
he didn't get to the third act when Hulk shows up.
What's yours?
Mine, honestly, I'm doing what's happening right now. Poor Things.
Poor Things? Okay.
Poor Things.
You were hating on it the other day.
I don't understand this movie because it just won a bunch of Oscars. And listen, costume design, cool. Set building,
Set
cinematography,
design.
all that stuff.
Yes.
You crushed it. Great job. Cinematographer did an amazing job. There's really crazy fisheye lens going
What's
on.
that line that you just said? A good movie.
Oh, good filmmaking does not a good movie make.
Exactly. This movie, it really feels like the people who vote for these kind of things are just crazy repressed and have never seen a movie that has sex scenes in it. Because
Like,
that is what this movie is. And I'm not
of
exaggerating.
old white men.
It is 45 minutes in the middle of her just fucking dudes as a prostitute.
I watched the first 30 minutes and there was like an egregious amount of topless Emma Stone in it. I was
Bro.
like, is this like,
You don't even know. She's naked for more than half that movie.
it's like, it's, I understand if it's like super motivated, but like
not.
her character's wearing clothes plenty. So like, why
They also
go back and forth?
they put a lot of time to establish this is a child's brain in a full woman, and then they proceed to have her get fucked for 50 minutes.
Makes you feel very uncomfortable as a viewer.
Yeah, it's just so awkward to watch.
Yeah.
But it's disappointing because it really does open strong. It starts in 16:9, black and white, full on Frankenstein, like mimicking shots from the old one, matching it to this.
The prosthetic work for Willem Dafoe already looks so good.
So good. And it also ends really strong in the third act. But man, most of that movie is a slog to get through. And I don't understand what these reviews and everyone's touting. I don't see it. And I like his other movies because the dude makes good weird movies, but like this is really not it.
Hear me out. And you guys, and you might, I don't think Aaron's seen this. You might disagree with me on this, but I feel the same way about La La Land, that I feel like La La Land is a really well-made movie that I don't think is like that entertaining.
But it's Ryan Gosling.
I love Ryan Gosling. I
Come
could
on.
watch him for hours. I finished that movie.
It's entertaining because of their chemistry, and I do think the songs are pretty decent, but it is probably forgettable.
See, I don't like this. Like when she's just singing in her audition, like I was so bored.
Well, the problem
And I love Emma Stone. I love them both. To
Yeah.
be, like they're amazing talent.
I think the best scene is the opening. Is when they have
The
that
dance
crazy
number.
dance number on the highway.
I was already checked out of the movie.
Were
at that
you?
point. I don't know. I just, first of all, it's not to say I don't like anything like that. I love The Greatest Showman. I think it's a very entertaining movie. I like other movies, musicals, Grease, Hairspray. Like
Sweeney Todd.
La La Land. Just I wasn't
Sweeney Todd.
feeling it. Shout out to Sweeney Todd.
I will say, actually, I just watched Wonka.
Well made though, absolutely. Well
Did you
made.
watch Wonka?
I love Wonka. It was so much fun. Wonka was like whimsical.
That movie was hot ass.
That movie was.
That movie is hot ass.
First of all, I love anything with Timothy Chalamet.
I was gonna say you Timothy Chalamet because he was so miscast.
No.
The amount of times he tries to make his
Timmy
face.
T?
He tries to make his face be weird to be weird.
Bro, first of all, the world disagrees with you because that movie made like almost $500 million.
Yeah.
And it was in theaters for like 4 or 5 months.
I don't get. Well, this is the
it's-
category because I don't get it because there's no catchy songs. The catchiest song is the one from the old
Scrub.
movie. Scrub's really good. Actually. No, there's one
yeah,
catchy song.
your case here.
Well, there's one catchy song, and every other song is like, "Oh, I'm sweeping and we're moving through," and they're just doing story beats.
That's the
There's nothing
thing, yeah.
catchy.
The songs in that movie are not great. I
They're
think it's-
transitional.
I think it's sold on like the actors like being fun, you know. But I don't think the songs are very good. But Mean Girls came out this like
also
January.
pretty bad.
That movie has great songs. I've been re-listening to those songs.
The Regina song is the only one I remember.
Is how much hate can I get for liking Mean Girls and not
Well,
liking
here's the
La La
thing.
Land?
I really love musicals.
love
and that's
Whiplash.
why I was trying to like watch the musicals, and I did not understand Wonka. He was so bad. He was so miscast.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen of the Gallery Gourmet, my name is Willy Wonka. It's so much fun.
Andrew loves Timothy Chalamet.
Okay, I think that's what it is. I'm not a Chalamet stan, so I was like, this dude.
I don't see it
My
either.
thing was,
He can do anything.
here's the thing. They cast him because he's handsome. He's the guy now, and he can sing. He wasn't the best guy for that role.
He can dance too. He's done theater.
Okay, I'll put a fourth finger up. he wasn't the best casting for that role, in my opinion. And
I don't think he's the perfect Willy Wonka, but do I think that he's so talented that he made it work? I do.
I think the only good part of that movie is legitimately Hugh Grant as the Oompa Loompa.
No,
He is
he's good, but that's
so
not the only
funny.
good part.
So funny, and the chocolate's very.
Tell me
inventive.
the little girl wasn't great. I think
No,
did a
she
good
wasn't that
job.
great. Her stilted acting, like
Yeah.
The,
Hey, Timothy Chalamet didn't sell me based off the trailer, so I haven't even seen it.
no,
Yeah.
I think the villains were fun. I laughed. Me and Sierra laughed a bunch watching that movie. We saw that movie back to back. We watched Boy and the Heron and then Wonka like the next day, and we both liked Wonka a lot more.
okay. So we're changing it to I hate, but
Andrew likes. So we have a lot of categories left.
We're
You want to
gonna have
rapid fire a
little
few?
bit, yeah.
Okay, these next two are very similar to what we just talked about. First one, underrated movie. Andrew, go.
Can I pick like a cult classic? Because I want to say like Boondock Saints. I feel like there's
You
a
can pick
community.
whatever you want.
There's a community that holds it up, but
Yeah.
there's not enough people that have seen it.
I haven't seen it.
No, it's not mainstream at all.
Have you seen
Yeah.
it?
I saw it back in the day when it came out, because like I said, everybody was talking about it. And it used to be on TNT a bunch also, like for reruns. But like I know they made a sequel like within the last
You know
decade.
what rapid fire means?
Oh, no, I guess I don't. He asked me a question.
Underrated movie. Shots, go.
Burn After Reading.
I've never seen
I don't
it.
know what that
Coen
is.
Brothers movie with George Clooney,
Brad
Brad
Pitt.
Pitt, the lady from Fargo whose name I can't think of right now.
Frances McDormand.
Thank you. Really amazing movie. Brad Pitt is it's the funniest thing I've ever seen him do. Perfect. And there is a halfway turning point in that movie that you do not see coming.
Have you seen Brad Pitt in Deadpool 2? Because that's pretty funny.
Yeah, but that's not really him.
Wait, Bullet Train.
That one was pretty
The
funny.
Train did pretty well. I'm not
super
super.
Underrated movie that
No,
I
no, mean
picked.
something funny.
Yeah.
Rapid fire.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Shut up.
Mine was
These
I,
were-
Robot.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That movie's not underrated.
Yeah,
know if it's
but
underrated.
is it talked about enough?
I think it's
Is it talked about enough?
It's not talked about as much as it should be, but to be picked for underrated, I think is a little extreme because everyone I've ever talked to about iRobot that's seen it loves it.
No one hates that movie.
Okay.
Isn't it Alan Cumming too as the robot? Well, I'll say mine real fast. If you
Yeah.
want to look up real fast to me.
I'm gonna look.
What about overrated movies? I'll start. Star Wars: The New Hope.
Is that episode
Four.
4? Yeah. I don't. That's fine.
It was so boring.
It's a lot
It's
of
so
setup.
boring, especially because I grew up watching the sequels first, and then I saw episode 4, and I couldn't get through it. I was so
Alan
so
Tudyk.
bored.
Alan Tudyk, yeah. Mr. Resident Alien. Yeah, so that's not a bad choice. Hamill also wasn't that great at acting in that one. He got better as it went on.
Yeah. What's yours?
This is The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, I see that.
He is quite
I see that.
overrated.
I'm gonna say the last 2 Harry Potter movies, but I would have said A New Hope if you hadn't said it first.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I'm sorry, you said the last 2 Harry Potter movies are overrated?
Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2.
Okay. I mean, one might say they're all overrated.
That's a different episode.
Got to move on to rapid fire.
Yeah. This one, I actually don't have anything in this topic, and I can't think of it.
Oh, I got
So maybe you guys could remind me of something that you know that I would like. But why do I like this?
Yeah, for me, it's Tusk.
Tusk?
Why do I like this? You've heard of Tusk, right?
Tusk.
I don't know.
Tusk is a movie that Kevin Smith made. So it's based off a Craigslist ad where someone, it's based off a Craigslist ad that's a real ad where essentially someone says, "Hey, looking for someone to wear a walrus costume and hang out in my house all day. I'll pay you. I'll feed you. All you have to do is stand in the corner and pretend to be a walrus. We'll have a
You know
pool
what? I think I've seen.
So it is a horror movie where a podcaster, Justin Long, gets kidnapped by Michael Parks and slowly is turned into a very practical effect suit flesh walrus. And then they wrestle, he swims. There's a lot of really weird shit and body horror shit in this movie.
Yeah.
But it's all done practically, and I loved it. And I'm like, why do I love this movie?
Okay.
There's scenes where Justin Long is crying as a walrus, and I'm cackling laughing. And I shouldn't be, but it's so weird.
And
Really recommend Tusk. It's like 90 minutes. You guys really check it out.
I don't know. What's a really weird movie that I like? I feel like sometimes my taste is so mainstream.
It's hard for me to think of these kind of categories, you know, like the why do I like this, like offshoot movies that
For me, I also
you don't
thought
think
of
of
like
as
Starship
often.
Troopers. Like, it's a movie that's not like an enjoyable watch, but it's fun, and it's like, why do I like this? This is gory and violent.
Yeah.
Like Hostel. Like Hostel's a good movie, but like, why do I like this?
I feel like the one I'm thinking of right now is Tropic Thunder, because I feel like upon rewatching it, I'm like, wow, this movie's actually horrible. But like, I don't know, it's funny.
Yeah.
It's really not appropriate.
No, it hit at a very specific time.
Yeah. And it got lucky that it worked.
Yes, it really does.
Like I don't know how Robert Downey Jr. got out of that unscathed.
Okay. Great soundtrack.
I feel like we're gonna have the same answer. Baby
Great.
Driver.
It's a great soundtrack.
Baby Driver. It's
Yeah.
like
Andrew already used
I already
Baby
picked
Driver.
Baby Driver, so I have to pick something else.
The soundtrack is the movie.
I'll go. Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, screw you, taking the other best answer. I'm gonna go Barbie.
Okay.
I love the
Yeah.
Barbie songs, and I love
Yeah.
that they're themed as well. They're like 90% female artists.
Won an Oscar.
Yeah, this
no big
is
deal.
very inside baseball, but real fast. They're doing a concert at the amphitheater. That's all the Barbie music from
Orchestral,
the movie.
right?
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's just gonna be 2 hours of Dua Lipa. Like, it'll probably be pretty fun, but like it's
Billie
good
Eilish.
music.
Dance the Night Away is my favorite song from the movie.
Yeah,
Next category is that cinematography. I'll go. I thought we'd all have the same answer here. I don't know why we're
feel like
waiting
we
around,
might.
but Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah,
Like, I'm like, is there another answer?
I wrote anything Deacons and then parentheses Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
Children of Men you talked about before.
Children
has
of
really
Men,
cool
1917. We
cinematography.
talked about last time.
Yeah.
Too. The dude is unmatched.
Interstellar has incredible cinematography.
Yeah, but Deacons
Inception.
specifically is
Oof.
unmatched.
I love Inception.
Bad Day Cure.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, Wonka? You changed your mind.
No,
First
that's
one.
like Timothy
No, no,
Chalamet.
no, no.
I would pick Meet the Robinsons.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my god. You two with the freaking Meet the Robinsons.
Whoa,
Me and
whoa,
Justin.
whoa. I haven't even seen it.
Good.
You too.
No,
He's talking about me and Justin,
No,
right?
Justin won't stop. I'm surprised that list he sends you is not just Meet the Robinsons for every time.
It might be. I only read the first few.
My Bad Day Cure would probably have to be an animated movie.
Yeah.
Don't you think? I mean, there's
For me, what I've been putting on the most just to like watch for fun is Bullet Train, which we already talked about.
That's a really good
Yeah,
answer.
it's just fun. It's
Colorful, it's vibrant,
yeah,
it's fast.
It's got good action.
quippy,
Yeah, the dynamic between all the characters. I love Orange and Tangerine. Just
Yeah.
going back and forth. It's good.
The movie was a lot better than I was expecting.
Yeah. Favorite protagonist? Is it Batman?
favorite protagonist. I mean, is it Batman? It's tough because it could change on a given day.
Yeah.
You know.
I left this one blank. I didn't have an answer for it.
I think
It
it's
was too hard.
I think it's one of the Johns personally, either Mr. Wick or Mr. McClane. But
Okay.
I fucking love John McClane.
dude, it's just again genre defining.
Yeah.
Is John McClane. They've made a lot more of those movies that are bad than good, but that just shows how many people want to pay to see that character do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I would I'd go Aang, but that's a TV show, or I would go
Ong. It's Ong in the movie.
Ong
so
is a
yeah,
movie.
go on.
No. Or I would go Batman or Spider-Man is a good answer. I have to pick like a top 5 maybe. Aaron
Yeah.
Yeager's a really good protagonist.
Yeah. Favorite trilogy? I put Captain America. Does that count?
You know, Captain America is an amazing trilogy, and I think
it's a trilogy.
It's
Okay.
really the only.
Sweet.
I think the only like perfect trilogy from Marvel, because I think each of those movies really stands on its own, but they all feel different yet connected.
Yeah.
That's a good way to
It's
describe
probably,
it.
it's
Yeah.
probably the best trilogy in Marvel, unless you're counting like Avengers.
Avengers, yeah.
Which has a 4th movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I like what you said. Each movie feels like its own movie.
Yeah, like-
Winter Soldier is just so good as like the spy flick. You know,
So I always used
love
to
it.
say about Dark Knight is if you can, or any superhero movie, if you can remove the superheroes and it's a dope movie still, then that shows good writing. And the Winter
Yeah.
Soldier it feels like I'm watching a spy
Yeah.
flick with Robert Redford from like 40 years ago.
I love that it's a spy theme.
Yes.
I can't wait till the Batman Part 2 and Part 3 come out, and the Batman's going to be your answer for everyone. Best movie, best sequel, best trilogy.
Best director.
Just like The Dark Knight is for you. Almost.
Well, the Dark Knight trilogy is my answer, so I'm sticking with
I know.
it.
What's yours?
Trilogy.
I put the new Planet of the Apes trilogy. I think is
Yeah,
quite
that one's
strong.
solid. I couldn't do that just because I haven't seen the last one yet.
You watched the second one?
Yeah, I've seen the second one.
You said you liked the first one better, though, right?
I do think I like the first one better. Yeah,
Curious after you watch the third one, what your thoughts
Yeah.
are as for everything. Because the first one's not Matt Reeves,
yeah, I know.
so it's
I
interesting.
know.
He makes it more adult.
I know.
I think an underrated trilogy is the Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah, we're not talking about that
Unofficial
right now.
trilogy,
Sorry,
yeah.
that wasn't the category.
Unofficial trilogy, yeah.
We already have too many categories here that we're trying to get through, Andrew.
We're burning.
Biggest letdown for me was Downsizing. And
You really hate that movie.
yeah, it's so bad. And it's not even like I had like
don't know
these
what-
high expectations from it. It was, we just put it on randomly to watch together as family or
The
whatever.
biggest letdown from moderate expectations.
And it was so bad. Like that's literally all we wanted. We just wanted like a mid movie to enjoy our time together. And it was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I feel like
was
it's
so bad.
It's that Argyle problem
Yeah.
where the trailer is made to sell a movie, but it's not the movie you
Yeah,
want to watch.
it was so bad.
Because that movie is not like I wanted tiny people.
Yes.
I wanted the problems of tiny folk.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. What do you guys have? Biggest letdown.
I do. I put the 2023 Marvel films, but since I already said that, I'm gonna go with Pacific Rim 2.
Okay.
Because the
Uprising
hy-
or whatever.
Yeah, the hype after that first movie was strong, and then I watched a pretty terrible Power Rangers ripoff.
I don't think I've seen the second one.
No, it's not
First one's
Guillermo, man.
good,
Like,
though.
it's a cash grab.
Yeah, Andrew.
For my biggest letdown, I would say The Flash, but my expectations were pretty low by the time it finally came out. So I'm going to say Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah.
I didn't see that in theaters. I saw the director's cut when it came out, and that is the only thing I've seen. And the director's cut's pretty good.
I think it's still good. I think when it came out, at the age I was like 17, obviously a huge Batman fan. Been waiting for Batman since Dark Knight Rises came out in 2012.
Been waiting for this movie since I Am Legend.
So I was like,
Dang it, I was gonna say that. I was just waiting. Oh man.
but I think that's one where like
So angry.
it undersold because my hype was so high. Like
Yeah.
Batman and Superman together on the big screen
Should be the best movie
the
of all time.
That's
cinematic
the
event
problem
of the
about it.
decade,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it wasn't.
It couldn't.
It was
be
still has a lot of really cool fights.
Yeah, and genuinely, that Martha thing's fucking stupid. Like you could have written something better.
Biggest surprise.
I've said Parasite too much, so I'm gonna say Get Out.
Get Out. It's a really good movie. Do you have your biggest surprise already?
Yeah.
All right. What is
You
it?
want me to go? Mine was Fury.
Oh my God.
I watched
He's
this
obsessed with
a few
Fury
months
now.
ago, and
yeah, it's in his head.
I just love it. It's so good.
Oh, I have my answer.
I like war films, but sometimes they feel repetitive, you know, kind of just the same thing in every single one. But this one, I don't know. I was dialed in. I love the cinematography. Whenever I love the cinematography, it definitely like captures
Hey, Aaron.
me.
We're trying to do rapid fire, buddy.
Yeah. I hear you.
My answer is Marcella Shell with shoes on. Never thought I would love
Biggest
that movie
surprise.
as much as I did.
Yeah.
Where's he? Is he over here?
Yeah.
Doesn't he have good weight to him?
He's
That's
solid.
quality.
He's alive.
He's a stocky boy.
Okay. Not the best, but having fun.
Batman and Robin. That movie is fun to watch, but it's not the best.
Sure.
She takes off those stupid lips every time I lose it.
Andrew?
I need a second to think. I'm
All right.
freewheeling.
I got one. Red Notice.
Ew, that movie sucks.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, no.
It's just fun. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
I'm gonna
I've
name-
seen it a few times. It's good.
I'm gonna piggyback off you. I'm gonna say another Ryan Reynolds movie, Hitman's Bodyguard.
Okay.
You know what? I was saying another Ryan Reynolds movie real fast too. Free Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The movie was so much better than I was
But
expecting.
Free Guy's good. When you say not the best, I feel like it implies that it's a bad movie.
I think it implies that it's
You
fun.
know?
Yeah, my thing for the Hitman's Bodyguard is that it's just like hitting a lot of the tropes of the action genre. Not that it's bad. I'm not trying to say it's like bad and I'm just having fun. I'm just saying it's like they weren't like trying to go all out and like change the like they're like, all right, we'll make like a fun action movie, and they succeeded. It was fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Expendables, not the best, but it's fun.
Criminally overlooked.
I don't think anyone's going to agree with me on this one, but Annihilation.
I haven't seen it. I want to see it.
Me neither.
If you didn't like 2001, I don't know if it's for you, but I loved it. And people either like the third act or they don't. I think it was pretty great. And it also, this movie has one of the best creature designs in cinema history, and it is the multi-dimensional bear. And that's all I'm going to say. People who've seen it know it is wicked. It is wicked.
I'm gonna say V for Vendetta. I think is criminally overlooked. You never hear it come up when people are talking about like their favorite superhero movies. I never hear that many people talk about V for Vendetta. I know people who watch it, love it. It's not like maybe criminally overlooked is a bit of an exaggeration, but I think that it's for how fantastic a movie it is, like being in my top 10 movies of all time. It's nowhere near that level of love from the masses.
Mine is another Ryan Reynolds movie. And I loved this movie as a kid when I first watched it. Nope. I did like that movie too.
Buried's good.
Wait, what's the? I thought.
Let's just guess all the
I thought it was
Ryan
called.
Reynolds movies.
What's that Captive movie? I thought it was called Captive.
Buried is the one.
It's
Where he's
called
in a
Buried.
box.
Buried's the one he's buried alive.
I gotta look
in
up
the coffin.
I gotta
the whole
look up
time.
what Captive.
And then there is
Captive
one of the
is.
most depressing endings ever.
Yeah, that was
It's real
sad.
misty.
That could be for the next category. Depressing
Actually,
movie.
Yeah. It's not a depressing movie. It's depressing. The ending. It's like, oh god.
Okay. Criminally overlooked for me is Safe House.
It's something else.
And no one's listening to me. Isn't that
Safe
great?
House, you said, is
Safe House.
for most depressing.
No, criminally overlooked.
Oh yeah, we're still on that one.
I feel like people have looked at Safe House the proper
seen
amount.
I feel like no one ever talks about Safe House, and I love that movie. It's so good.
So that's what Denzel's in that, or
Denzel, Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. It's like a kind of like a rated R Jason Bourne-esque movie.
Phone Booth is criminally overlooked. I've never met a person who's watched Phone Booth that wasn't somebody I showed it to until now.
No, Phone Booth. I was such a 24 fan, and I was consuming anything Kiefer Sutherland that I could get.
And it's like you don't even know it's him.
I know that voice. I know that voice anywhere.
Okay. Depressing movie. I put The Iron Claw.
Yeah,
You know my answer.
especially the end of that movie. The whole time it's very somber, but the end is quite.
Yeah.
It hits pretty well.
Yeah. And when you think of like, oh, this is real. It's
Yeah.
like,
I think the end
that's
is
sad.
to me the end is like the uplifting part. I feel like the depressing part is like the journey there.
It's
Which-
uplifting, but it's
Which is the movie.
yeah. No, it is uplifting at the end, but just after watching everything that happens, it's
Yeah.
just like
It's all piled on at the end.
yeah, it's
Everything.
somber, sobering. not
Was yours?
Mine's Room with Brie Larson.
Yeah.
Room.
And Tremblay.
Yeah?
Really?
Well,
yeah.
he said it first. You got to pick
Yeah.
a different one.
No, that movie is. You speak to it, please.
That movie is the epitome of like gut wrenching. Like I've never watched a movie that has had me so torn up inside that I cried tears of joy. I don't want to spoil the movie for you. At a point, I'm sure.
Get out.
There's a point where, but there's
I'm not going to watch it.
there's a point where you think she's not going to get out, and when she does, and they're reunited, like I literally shed a tear, and I was like, wow, I've never like cried of relief or like joy. Like I was so excited. So the movie just really enthralls you in this like terrible, terrible situation. And like the filmmaking does it in such a good way where as an audience member, you don't see outside the room for the first like half of the movie.
And they do a really good job making what's probably the size of your studio feel huge. The whole movie, most
Changing
of it
camera
takes you
angles,
yeah,
a ton.
like wide angle lenses, like it really sells. But then they'll cut to a regular angle and be like, "Oh, this room's small."
And child actors do not usually act how that kid acts. Jacob Tremblay acted his
thing
ass
ever.
off. Yeah.
And I think it works because he wasn't an actor. He was like 2 or 3. Like he was a child. So when
he was
does,
old. He was older than
2 or
he was
3?
like 3 to 5 maybe. I thought he was like a toddler.
2 years old?
No, he's
He's not 2. I'm a little young. I don't know kids' ages.
Yeah, he's
Maybe
got
5?
he's got to be older than that. I think he's probably like 8 to 10.
In that movie?
Maybe playing a 7 or 8.
You can't even get a 2-year-old to do anything you want
Well,
them to.
regardless, they cast someone who is young and inexperienced, and it really shows. It helps the performance.
Yeah.
To be, he seems very
It's
natural.
genuine.
It relies on them.
scared with
Yes.
The two of them. It relies on so strongly.
Brie Larson too. Short Term 12 is another one she made about
I haven't seen it.
adoption process. Heart wrenching. She's so good at doing drama.
I just think Room is like depressing. Like even though all the way to the end, it's like that the effects it would have on your life to go through what she went through. They do not pretend that there is like a fairy tale ending for anybody that went through what the character went. So it sticks with me. I still think about the movie sometimes.
Really, it's so good because it shows how a mom and a child can still have fun and be a family in the worst possible situation.
It shows the lengths a mother will go to protect her child and the things that she'll endure and the creativity that she can come up with. It is like like an endeavor of like the human spirit because I would be broken down and like she is she's recovering. She's recovering for her kid like a freaking beast.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing movie.
Favorite active director?
I mean, there's only 2 names and we're going to all say them.
1, 2, 3.
Denis
Chris
Villeneuve.
Nolan.
And yeah, those are the names. That's what I wrote. So there you go, guys. It's Chris and Denis.
Favorite animated movie?
You moved Denis over Nolan?
I've never had Nolan as my favorite director.
Oh, you picked him first in the
Yeah.
director's draft. I figured
Yeah,
wanted to
because he
win.
was a hot,
Yeah, he's going to win.
hot name for a director's draft.
you're trash, bro.
I read the room. Favorite animated movie?
I actually wrote Zootopia.
Nice movie.
Yeah.
I like that movie.
Zootopia is really good. Otherwise, I'd say Toy Story 3. But
Yeah.
they're solid movies.
I went. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I went with one that's recent, and that's Across the Spider-Verse.
I figured one of you guys would say that.
Yeah.
It's almost like the best animated movie of
Right.
like actual animation.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
Like for like the dictionary definition for the best animated movie
Yeah.
is Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
But Boy in the Heron beat it. I'm gonna go with Into the Spider-Verse,
Nice.
2018.
You guys said the same movie.
No, he didn't. I said Across. He said Into.
Whatever.
Same movie. Come on now.
Whatever.
If I had to pick a different one, I can't because I already picked Meet the Robinsons.
Okay. Last category. We made it through all of these.
Yeah.
Good job. And that is not usually my thing, but I have nothing. I couldn't think of one for this one.
Part of me wants to say Barbie
Yeah. That's
because I feel like it's a little bit outside my wheelhouse.
I feel like it's in your wheelhouse though.
I don't know. I like whimsical stuff like Wonka, but it's like, what?
You like musicals. You like. I feel like these kind of cheesy-ish comedies. You like
But I
women
always-
empowerment
but
movies.
I feel like I always get slandered for being the like snob who likes dramatic movies. So like, there's lots of non-dramatic movies that I like though. Like I like cheesy action movies a lot.
Yeah.
So I could pick maybe I could pick like a cheesy action movie for my everything.
Barbie is a fine pick.
Everything's in my wheelhouse. That's my problem. I like all kinds of movies. I mean, maybe if I pick a documentary, Free Solo. Like I love Free Solo, and I usually don't watch documentaries. That's like the only thing I watch.
I love documentaries.
I watch old movies, new movies. Like I like all kinds of movies.
What did you put?
I wrote Lady Bird because I didn't think I was going to like Lady Bird, and I absolutely loved it. It's very much a slice of life movie, and sometimes they don't work,
Yeah.
but I thought it really did.
So you'd vote for
Nice.
my box office team then, because you love Greta Gerwig.
I like
Not my box
the
office
two
team.
movies she's made.
My
Yes.
director's team:
3.
What's the third one?
Barbie, Lady Bird, Little Women.
I don't like women. No, I didn't.
Dude, him back to back with Dan. him and Dan back to back.
No, I didn't see Little Women.
It's a great movie.
but she's a fantastic.
You would hate it. Timothy Chalamet's in it, giving the performance of a lifetime. So you'd probably call it girl.
I like Chalamet. I just don't think he's the zeitgeist guy right now, and they keep wanting to make it.
Dude, he's so good in Little Women, and Florence Pugh is in it. Winona Ryder.
You noticing the trend here?
Yeah,
Who else is in it? Saoirse Ronan. Who's the lady from Devil Wears Prada? Everybody loves her.
Anne Hathaway?
Blanking on her name. No,
Anne Hathaway.
the lady who plays
Meryl Streep?
Meryl Streep. Yeah, Meryl Streep's in it. Like that cast is stacked at the wazoo.
I'm trying to think of any short woman, and I can't think of one right now. To make a Little Women joke, I got nothing.
Dang it.
Yeah, Florence Pugh, but she's actually in it, so it doesn't really work. Anyway,
We finished them all.
We did. This concludes Chats with Schatz.
yeah.
Who do you guys think agreed the most? Who do you think disagreed the most?
I think you two clashed the most.
I think we clashed on a very few
Few
choice
of them,
movies,
yeah.
but I think overall we all kind of align on
Yeah.
what makes movies good and what we like from movies.
You have bad Harry Potter opinions. Aaron's only seen 6 movies that came out before the year 2000.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
I'd be honestly,
There's holes. I get it.
I'd be surprised if you have seen 6.
Well, I've seen.
You've seen the Star Wars movies.
That's 3.
Yeah, but he watched them after the prequels, so he had to watch the new ones first to get into the old ones. Have you seen any of the
I was 10.
Indiana Jones?
I've seen the first 3.
Okay, that's all you need.
Okay, those are
Those are the ones.
Yeah.
you don't need to see the other. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I would say watch.
Obviously, Jurassic Park.
No. For the last one?
No, that's the
That's the fourth
second
one,
last
right?
one. The last one was
No.
So Shia LaBeouf,
Crystal
right?
Skull is bad. Is that the fridge?
yeah, I think that one's okay.
No, sir.
It's not nearly as bad as the one that came out after that.
The one that just came out is great.
The one that just came out was terrible.
No.
That movie sucks.
It felt like Indiana Jones.
Bro, the end of the spoiler alert, Aaron. Fucking sorry for your ears. But the time travel at the end of that movie, I know that Indiana Jones gets spiritual and sci-fi, but like that time travel was ridiculous.
So you prefer literal aliens
Yes.
and
Yeah.
him surviving a nuclear bomb in a fridge and getting launched miles and crawling out of it, old man Indy?
That's not the most unrealistic thing that's happened in Indiana Jones.
Those tree swinging sequences with the worst green screen I've ever fucking seen, and those
they're
awful
pretty bad.
Jumanji monkeys.
But it's got Shia LaBeouf, and Shia LaBeouf's got the charisma.
All right, we should probably end this.
Dude, the next one has Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She's pretty good, but that movie's so unmotivated, so unnecessary. Dial of Destiny is hot trash. The de-aging does not look very good.
It's the best de-aging they've ever done in cinema.
Ever?
It is the best de-aging.
It's better
ever
than you
done.
have. You already said you haven't seen The Irishman.
Tron Legacy.
But they used the Irishman technology and made it better for this new Indiana Jones movie because they learned, and he doesn't need to talk. When he's not talking, his face looks perfect.
I was not the biggest. It was kind of messing with me with my eyes. I was
Okay.
not.
Using disbelief.
I don't think de-aging ever generally looks that good.
No, that's why Harrison Ford in this last movie was mind-blowing how good they finally made it look. Because Leia looks terrible, Hamill looked terrible, Tarkin, all those guys in Star Wars look pretty cheesy. The Irishman's kind of weird. I've seen like the BTS clips. It's not perfect.
Let's talk about it more off camera, but it's because we're kind of going on a tangent here.
I feel like
Fight,
I've been here
fight.
forever.
yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, Jordan.
Thanks for having me. Of
course.
It's super fun to chat.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
With Schatz, that's me. Yes.
Thank you, everyone who's watching the show and for sticking around for an hour and a half episode. There's tons of things for you to watch out there, and we appreciate you clicking in and joining us and talk about movies and shows. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our content. We post new episodes every Monday and Thursday. Where else can they find us, Andrew?
They can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly known as Twitter. They can find us on Threads, even if we haven't posted there in months. We're on there.
It's there. Yeah.
You can find us anywhere that podcasts are played as well.
Also, we have a Discord. It's linked in the description of this video. It's free to join, so you can join in there and join the conversation. We talk about, again, movies and shows, but then we also bring up episode recommendations and episodes that are coming out that are scheduled for us. So if you want to join that, it is free, linked in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and that's a wrap.